Hi, and welcome to our Crossroads Family Online. We're glad you're with us. This week we're in week 2 of our series called Stuff You Can't Say in Church. We have a guest pastor this week. Let's go in and meet him.
What's the first word that comes to mind when you think of things you can't say in church? Jim.
Yeah. I can't tell you that. Because the words that come to mind could get me in trouble. And you will have captured on video. Come on, I'm not as as I look.
Can I interrupt you guys for just 1 second?
Sure. I'm not going to say that. All right, you're going to make me say it. That's what I'm saying.
What's the first word that comes to mind when you think of things you can't say in church? Edna.
Yeah. Oh my goodness gracious. Gee, I don't know. I can't think of a word I can't say in church. Oh my gosh, are you kidding? I heard Brian say but I don't see anything wrong with
Church, and it is such a privilege to be here. I'm from New Hampshire, where there is a lot of cursing in church. That's how they roll. There is a different place altogether. So when it comes to stuff you can't say in church in New Hampshire, we're really oftentimes talking about money. It's like the big taboo thing you're not allowed to say. But things are a little bit different there. Just to kind of get you to understand the flavor of where I'm coming from and where I'm walking into today. Like some of you guys hugged me. What's wrong with you? Like, I don't understand. Why are we in my space and doing this hugging thing? I'm originally not from New Hampshire, I'm from Texas, so it started kind of coming back to me. I was like, oh, this is like a colloquial greeting. I understand now. But New Hampshire is just a very different place. And it is the most unchurched region of the United States. Manchester, New Hampshire, where we are, always comes in as like the last or second to least most unchurched or whatever city or country or county or I don't know where I'm from in the country all the time. And so it's a little bit different. Weird thing though is this room that you're in, this beautiful, cool room that you guys have redone, looks just like one of the rooms on one of our campuses, so it feels like home. And I was thinking about that room. In our services, we have police officers on site because we're rowdy crowd coming. It's a blast. And you know, crowd control sometimes. And we had a new officer one Sunday, and this officer came up to me and he said, hey, you know, I just had a question for you. I said, yeah, what's going on? He goes, well, is it normal for people to drink during your services? I was like, well, I mean, you know, we have a cafe. I mean, it's not, I heard your coffee at the Night Cafe. It was amazing. I was like, you know, so we have a cafe, and, you know, of course, you know, so people bring stuff in. It's no big deal. It's not funny. It's not come here. And I walked to the back of the room, so the room just like this is in the back of the room. And on the second row, right over here, right where you are, blue shirt, right there, there's a guy drinking a Heineken. And the cop's like, and I went, well, we don't have a rule against it. But maybe we gotta keep an eye on blue shirt. So things are a little bit different there, but something that is the same is when you bring up money in church, that's one of those things, that's some of the stuff that tends to make people uncomfortable. But God's cool with that. He likes to shake things up and make us uncomfortable because He loves us so much. And I want you to know this, God is madly, passionately, head over heels in love with you. I mean, He loves you. You're the apple of His eye, the most prized of His creation, and He's got such good news for you. But oftentimes we can't hear it because we're coming from such different places. And I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure most of you understand what it feels like to feel like you're living under a curse. You look around you, and even like the whole church world and the smiling faces and the high fives and the greetings and the how you doing? I'm doing great. We got one guy at our church, he loves to say, every time you say, how are you doing? He says, I'm blessed and highly favored. I don't talk to the guy. I avoid it. I don't want to hear that. Because it doesn't feel that way all the time. Sometimes it feels like we're living under a curse. And the reason is because as a people we are. There is a curse that we live under. Malachi chapter 3, verse 9 is a passage of scripture that I've struggled with a lot in my life, but God's given me some real clarity regarding that I want to share with you. Malachi 3:9. God says, you're under a curse, your whole nation, because you are robbing me. So God, He just lets us know, hey, you're under a curse. Your whole nation, because you're robbing me. I'm sure you can look at our nation, you look at our national affairs. Does it feel like we might be under a curse? Of course it does. All the division, all the anger, all the fighting, all the rhetoric, and all the nonsense, that's just symptoms of the curse. You're under a curse, your whole nation. Why, God? Why are we under a curse? Well, He says, well, I'm going to shoot you straight. It's because you're robbing me. And then they ask the question in Malachi, well, how are we robbing you? And God says, in tithes and offerings. You're robbing me. Now, the reason this is such an important issue for God is because this robbing of God of tithes and offerings is really symptomatic of a larger problem. It's symptomatic of the problem of idolatry, of worshiping another God besides God. And the issue of idolatry is such a problem because when we worship an idol, then we have identity confusion. And God doesn't want that for us. God doesn't want us to have identity confusion. He wants you and me and all of us and our community, in our nation. He wants us to understand who we are, that we are children of the Most High God, created by Him in His image to be in an eternal relationship with Him. Because that's fantastic news. He doesn't want us to be confused. Who am I? What am I here for? He says, I want you to know who you are, that you're my children, and you belong in my household and in my kingdom, and I have a place for you and a calling for you. But when we rob Him in tithes and offerings, that's symptomatic of worshiping another God, putting something else ahead of Him, and that is idolatry, and that idolatry creates identity confusion. Now, we're not the first people to do this, by the way. And money might not be your number one idol. It might be the god of sex. It might be the god of materialism. It could be a god of addiction. There could be all kinds of other gods that vie for your heart. But what God's saying is you give me the praise and worship and honor that I am to have, and only I am to have. And then you begin to understand who you are in relationship to me. And you'll step out of that curse. God's not cursing us. He's offering us blessing. We choose the curse. We're not the first. You go all the way back to the Garden of Eden. You got Adam and Eve there in the garden, and they're living in the fullness of the blessing and the fullness of God. God was with them in the garden, and they have this relationship with one another and a relationship with God. And God's got one rule. Don't eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. One. What do? They totally blew it. They totally blew it. And then God shows up. Oh, He doesn't just let it slide. It's not like, I'm going to let that one go. Because He loves us. He's a loving Father, and it matters. And He says, okay, now we've got a problem. This relationship is broken. And Adam, you're not going to understand who you are because you don't really understand who I am. And so He goes to Adam. He's like, Adam, what'd you do? And Adam does what we all do. He starts playing the blame game, which is what we've all already done. We're like, well, tithes and offerings. I mean, it's not my fault. If I made more money, I would give tithes and offerings. If my parents had raised me different, I'd give tithes and offerings. Yeah, I mean, if churches use the money better, I'd give tithes and offerings. We've got all our blame game things ready to go. Adam is ready. God shows up. Adam, what'd you do? And Adam goes, me? You're asking me what I did? It was that woman that you put here. He blames Eve and God. Right out of the gate. In the same way, like, you hear we're under the curse, and you're like, wow, I'm out. I'm leaving. Forget this. I don't want to hear this nonsense. Of course you don't. When you're in the curse and you plan on staying in the curse, you're not so interested in the pathway to blessing, which is this beautiful obedience in God and exalting Him. And so when God says, hey, you're under a curse, your whole nation, because you're robbing me, He's like, there's a way to fix this. It's a really cool way to put everything in its place. So how do you know if you're living under this curse? Well, one of the diagnostic tools I have is this question: what's your magic number? What's your magic number? Now, when I ask what your magic number is, here's the thing. How much money will it take to make all your problems go away? Now, in Elisha, most of you just roll, well, that's not possible. No, you have a number. There's a number in there somewhere where you're stressed, you're worried, you're anxious, you're fearful, and you're like, well, I mean, honestly, if I just had this, then everything would be cool. I wouldn't feel like I was under the curse anymore. If I had this amount, then it wouldn't feel like a curse anymore. If I just had this number, it wouldn't feel like a curse. What's your magic number? Figure that out, find it out, because if you don't have one right now, you're probably going to have one tomorrow. It's going to come up. And sometimes, like, I've met people who's like, well, if I just had $1,000, that's all I need. It's not a lot, just $1,000. $1,000, and this would be fixed, and I can handle this. Somebody was like, $1,000? What are you talking about? I need 10. I need 10,000 to see me begin to get my head above water. And if I can get my head above water, well, then I get my finances in order. And then I can trust God and worship Him in tithes and offerings and get out from under the curse. And others are like, $10,000. I need $100,000. $100,000. I need $1 million. That's the way this false god works. Because it's a false god. It never satisfies. It's never enough. And so we begin to look to money to do things that money can never do. We think it'll make our problems go away and fix our marriages and ease our stress and make us healthy and save our businesses and hold our families together and retire our debts and everything will just be great. We start worshiping a number. We start pursuing it. Now, that number then becomes the thing that makes the decisions for us in our lives, and we're under the curse. Exodus 20, verse 3. God says, you shall have no other gods before me. He's really clear on this one. No other gods. None. It's just Him. And then in Matthew chapter 22, verse 37, Jesus replied, love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. So we go from Adam, where God gives him one command, and then God delivers the Israelite people, and He starts unpacking His law for them. And one of the big 10 was, you shall have no other gods before me. And then throughout the Old Testament, you have 600 plus Old Testament commands. Jesus comes in and says, all right, I'll summarize it for you. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, with all your strength. This is the first and greatest commandment. In fact, He says all the law and the prophets hang on this. This command of love, to love God wholeheartedly. But this magic number business, this idolatry business, creates identity confusion, and it breaks the heart of God. God doesn't need our money. It's His anyway. He has it all. The issue with this is when we put money in its proper place and we trust God with this, we're declaring, you are the King of Kings. You are the Lord of Lords. And we walk out from under this curse. Guys, we call money a blessing and then treat it like it's a curse. It's so true. Somebody gets a pay raise at work, and what do we say? Well, that was a nice blessing. A bonus check. Wow, look at that blessing. Somebody gets a new car. Well, they're really blessed. Who says? That new car, that additional amount of money, these things are usually curses. We're living under a curse, and we all know what it feels like when there's this identity issue driven by the idolatry. Then it's a curse. Money, that's all money will be. It can never be a blessing in that scenario. It's not. It's like when you go to work, how do people think about their jobs? I'm going to go to work. Okay, on Monday, I'm going to go to work. Are people like waking up Monday morning going, yeah? Jumping up before the alarm going, it's Monday. Monday. Gonna get my work on. Love work. No, because we're taught it's a curse. Work's a curse. You hate your job. You go there and you're miserable. And we're missing the point. God has strategically placed you in this job that is providing a source of income where you can produce something and be around other people and share His love in this dynamic space. You're there. And they're actually paying you to be there, to share God's love with them, and we hate it. Why? Because it's a curse. We've got an idolatry issue which drives an identity issue. When you check the mail, you excited to check the mail? No, because when you open the mail, what's in the mail? Bills. I hate them. Bills. Bills. Curses. We open them. How about if we start opening bills and you're like, yep, I can pay that. Jackpot. Thank you, Jesus. See, what's happened right then and there is our identity is so tied up in that number that we can't see what God sees when he looks at us. You are his child. He's got an eternal kingdom, his kingdom, that is far greater than anything this world can ever provide. And he declares blessing over you and invites you in obedience to step into his blessing. If we just walk out of curse. We leave this magic number business behind us because money makes a terrible God. Terrible God. Because it's never enough. And it's never satisfied. So what happens is when we worship God and money, we end up with divided hearts. And what divided hearts do is this: divided hearts multiply curses. It actually multiplies the curses. When our hearts are divided, then the curses get even worse. And then we hand them down to others. We hand them down in our families. We hand them to our neighbors. We hand them to the people in our churches. And the curses are multiplied and the blessings are left behind. And our God is a jealous God. He's a jealous God. Do you know that? Like in the best possible way. Not like in the jealous girlfriend sense.
Yeah,
like he's like, man, I want you. I want you. I want you to be with me. He says, I want you to be with me completely. And he's not interested in sharing us. In Matthew chapter 6, verse 24, Jesus says, no one can serve two masters. Either he will hate the one and love the other, or be devoted to one and despise the other. You cannot serve both God and money. Jesus is like crystal clear here. It's like, here's the problem. When our hearts are divided, the curses multiply because you can't serve two masters. And so what we do is we think, no, it's fine. Like, I'm going to separate God and money. God's not interested in money. Yes, he is, because you're interested in money. And so it's ridiculous to say he's not. So we try to separate it, but it doesn't work. We end up dividing. It multiplies the curse. What God's saying is, stop separating it. Come to me. You can't serve both God and money, but you can use money to serve me. And it's a powerful change. Because divided hearts, man, they're just living under the curse. Think about what divided hearts are. When we think about divided hearts, look at this. Divided hearts are these things. Next one. Okay. I'll tell you what they are. They're exhausted. Divided hearts are exhausted. Because there they are, thank you. Divided hearts are exhausted. Because they're running around trying to please two masters. They're anxious because they're wondering out which master is going to win out. They're fearful. You know, is the other one going to find out about this? They're angry and they're guilty. Now look at these words. Let's go. Next one. No. Forget it. Divided hearts are bad. Not your friend. You don't want it. You don't want all that exhaustion and anger and anxiety and worry and fear and guilt. Instead, you want to be at peace with God. To know that there's no doubt about it. That's the thing too. When I've got it. We're going to make a change. And your heart begins to beat in rhythm with the heartbeat of God, and you begin to walk with him, and you begin to live with him. And what's so fantastic about this is when you get this issue right, this idolatry issue right, and you really begin to understand who you are, then you get it. I'm created in the image of a generous God. This is the first thing that we know about who we are, that we are created in the image of God. We were made in his image, and he is a generous God. He gives. And so we are created with generosity in mind. Generosity is inside of us, just wanting to get out. And so we go on the offensive with it. We start living it out. Our prayers begin to change. Instead of saying, like treating God like a cosmic vending machine in the sky. Like, God, I'm going to do my religious duty. I'm going to put my quarter in, and I'm going to make my selections. Forget that. Because then when we don't get what we want, what do? We shake our machine. Kick it. And instead, we connect to God in such a way where we say, God, what do you want? Because I'm convinced most of us, we don't even know how to pray. We've got this whole thing backwards. It's a lordship issue. Jesus isn't really Lord of my life or Lord. That is the issue, the my life part of that statement. It's not my life anymore. Jesus is Lord. It's not my life, it's his life. I gave up my life. I laid down my life, take up my cross, and follow him. My life's over. So what in the world am I doing coming before him praying, saying, all right, Jesus, you can be Lord. But let's face it, I'm not very good at it. Now, as such, I have a few things I need you to take care of. I got some problems I need you to fix, some provision I'm going to need you to go ahead and provide. Now, hops to it, Skippy. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. It's not prayer. Prayer is, God, what do you want? What do you want to do? God, here I am, all of me. Take it all, everything that I am. And when you do that, it changes the whole dynamic. So don't expect money to give you what only God can. Just don't expect it to do it. Because it can't. 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 16 says, so from now on we regard no one from a worldly point of view. Though we once regarded Christ in this way, we do so no longer. Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. The old is gone, the new is gone. Guys, I hope you'll hear that. If you're in Christ, you're a new creation. The old is gone, the new is come. You have the opportunity to live this out. That there is a transformation that's happening on the inside of who you are, the core of your being. This is not about behavior modification, saying, all right, I'll change my behavior and that will change who I am. God's already saying, let me change who you are, and that will change your behavior. Not change your heart. Money makes a terrible guy. You don't want to live under those curses anymore. So don't expect money to do that. But if you expect God to do what only God can do, and then you offer yourself fully to him, he transforms and changes the heart. And we move out of this curse, and we begin to live in the blessings of God. And so there really is just one key question. Who is number one in your life? Who is number one? You can't serve two masters. You can't serve both God and money. Who is number one? How do you make your decisions? When it comes time to make a decision, where you live, where you work, where your kids will go to school, what you'll buy. Are those questions dictated by the almighty dollar or by the almighty God? Do we even ask God on those things, or we just assume God doesn't really care, he's not really interested, this is my money after all, I'll do whatever I want with it. See, the decisions that we make in this life are reflective of the lordship of Jesus in our life. And if he's truly number one, then a lot of the decisions we make aren't going to be the same as they were before, but they're also not going to produce the same cursed results as they did before. They're going to start to bring blessing. Matthew chapter 6, verse 19, Jesus said, do not store up for yourself treasures on earth, where moths and vermin destroy, where thieves break in and steal. But store for yourself treasures in heaven, where moths and vermin do not destroy, and where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, your heart will be also. God wants your heart with him. Put your treasure there too. And your heart will follow. When we live under that curse, we're not keeping anything anyway. It's all temporary. It all goes away. And so what God is inviting us to do is to really have him be Lord of our lives, to deliver us out from under that curse and into his blessing, so that we begin to understand not only who he is, but who we are in relationship to him, and who he created us to be. And that change that has happened on the inside, that new creation that is just pounding right now, saying, let me out, break through the curse, let me out, let me live this out. And then you're free to go on the offensive. You see, we get so defensive when it comes to talking about money in church. Don't go there. You know, I knew that's all our church ever talks about. Like, listen, maybe you're here and you're like, I've been to church 4 times in my life, and all 4 times they were talking about money. Well, God's probably trying to tell you something. And so, don't be defensive, but here's another opportunity to go on the offensive. I got a friend in my life, and this guy, man, he has got the heartbeat of God as regards to generosity, tithes and offerings, but then just in the way he lives. Man, this guy walks around like looking for opportunities to bring blessing to people. And he's told me a story last year. He and his teenage daughter were walking into a Walmart one Saturday afternoon. And while they were walking in, he saw a woman that was holding a sign, and her sign simply said, "In need." And So my friend, he looks at his daughter and says, we're going to go talk to her. And she goes, oh, no, Dad. He goes, no, come on, we're going to go talk to her. And he walked over to her and he said, excuse me, ma'am. She said, yes, sir. And he said, I saw your sign and it says you're in need. What do you need? And the woman was like, I don't know. And he goes, well, maybe I can help you. I thought I would come over and see what you needed. Because maybe I could be of help. I'd like to help if I could. She goes, well, I don't know what I need. And so he said, well, what's your story? Why are you here today? And she goes, well, this is my daughter. Her 10-year-old daughter was sitting next to her. And she said, we're just stuck. My husband, he got sick, and after he got sick, he couldn't work anymore, and we lost our home, and so, you know, we don't have anything. And my friend looked at her and said, well, there's a Walmart right here. Can we go in and get you some stuff? And she goes, I don't have any money. He goes, well, no, I'll buy it. Let's just go get what you need. And she says, well, I don't know if my husband will let me. He said, well, where's your husband? She said, well, he's in our car over there. Well, go ask him. So they went down there, and he said, I'm too sick to go in, but I guess it'd be okay. So they go in to Walmart. And he said, so what do you need? Walmart's a big place. And she's like, I don't know. And he goes, well, let's get a couple of shopping carts. And this little bit will go to the first aisle. And we'll just look and see if there's anything you need. So they get 2 carts, they go to the first aisle. He goes, you see anything you need? She goes, well, there's some disinfectant wipes, and you know, those can be pretty helpful. And he goes, great, let's get some disinfectant wipes. And so she reaches down on the bottom shelf and she gets the store brand and, you know, the smallest package and puts it in the cart, and he goes, isn't the Lysol brand better? She goes, well, it is better. He goes, yeah. And he puts those back, and he reaches up on the top shelf and gets the 3-pack Lysol. Boom. Puts them in the cart. And the mom goes, thank you so much. And the little girl goes, thank you so much. And he goes, you're welcome. What else do you need? And somebody starts saying some things, and they put them in the cart. And each time the mom's like, thank you so much. And the little girl's like, thank you so much. And he goes, hey, enough of the thank yous. Okay, we're shopping together at Walmart. We're family now, so let's just do this. Enough of the thank yous. And they keep going down the aisles. They get to the cookie aisle. And she goes, oh, we can skip this aisle. He goes, you can't skip the cookie aisle. She goes, well, we don't really need any cookies. He goes, I guess you do. And she reaches down. She doesn't learn. She reaches down to grab the Hydrox cookies. He says, no, don't you put those in the cart. We're not getting Hydrox. We're getting double stuffed Oreos in the family size. Puts them in there. They go down a little further, and there's the linen aisle. He says, how? Linens? You need any towels? And she goes, well, we have one towel that we share. That's not going to work. Let's get you some towels. So they pick up some towels, and they put them in the cart. And the little girl then looks at him and says, sir, why are you doing this? He goes, because you're in need. She goes, yeah, but why are you doing this? Because you are in need, and I can't. She goes, well, why are you doing this? And he goes, well, if I needed something, would you help me? And she said, but I don't have any money. He goes, but you might one day. If I needed something, would you help me? And she said, yes. He goes, well, I'm helping you. And they kept filling the carts and filling the carts. And the carts are getting full. And then he looked down and noticed the little girl, her shoes were really ratted. So he looks at the mom and he says, I noticed her shoes are really worn out. I know they sell shoes here. Should we get her some shoes? And she goes, actually, those are my shoes. We share those too. He said, well, let's go over and let's look at some shoes. And the little girl says, really? Because she didn't have her own pair of shoes. And she runs over to the shoe aisle, and my friend's daughter is helping her, and she runs right up to these shoes. I mean, they catch her eye immediately. And she picks them up, and she's looking at them. And then she looks over here, and there's a pair that's $2 cheaper. So she puts those back and goes like this. And my friend says, no. Put them both in. And my friend's daughter says, hey, you have any sandals? Let's find some sandals. My friend looks at this lady and says, well, since those are your shoes that she's wearing, don't you think we should get you some too? And she goes, no, this is not about me. This this is about her. My friend said, oh, no, this is about us. Let's go ahead and get you some shoes. And then my friend's daughter said, hey, Dad, do you think maybe we could get her a toy? So he said, my friend said, I don't know what's asking. So he says to the lady, hey, my daughter would like to go help your daughter pick out a toy. Would that be okay? So now here they come up to the front of Walmart. 2 shopping carts bounding over toy on top. The checkout person was not excited about what was going down. And they get up there and something spills, and now the cashier's all upset. But my buddy, man, he is just in the generosity flow. He's like, let me see that mop. Now he's mopping the floor of Walmart. He's getting this stuff. And as they're walking out, now, they're all in bags, so, what was 2 shopping carts is now 4. Everybody's got a cart. And this lady stops my friend and goes, he goes, yeah, what's up? I'm watching. Okay. He goes, oh, I know what you're doing. He goes, what's that? She goes, I know what you're doing. He said, what? She goes, I know what you're doing. She gave a little wink. And then she scampered off. My friend said, I don't know what you believe about angels. He's like, I didn't see that lady the whole time we were in the store. I never saw her again. I'm almost like, this is so good. He gets out, and so the blessing was about to come. We haven't even got to the blessing yet. They're pushing these 4 shopping carts to the parking lot. And the dad's in the car. He sees him coming. He's been worried. He's been in there for a long time. Her wife went in there. His wife went in there with a strange man. Here they come. And he gets out of the car and he's like, what happened? And they're putting all this in the car, and he looks at my friend and he goes, sir, are you a Christian? And my friend said, well, yeah, I am. And the man said, then can I give you a blessing? My friend said, okay. And the sick man just said, put out your hands. So my friend opened up his hands like this, and the man put his hands on top. Right there in the parking lot of Walmart, just began to pray a blessing and quote scripture over him. Now, while this was going on, the little girl, she couldn't wait any longer because she got a package of nut butters. So she tears it open, and she wanted to get into those, and she took 2 cookies out. And she said to my friend's daughter, will you have a cookie with me? My friend's daughter goes, oh, sweetie, those are for you. She goes, please, I want to share a cookie. You're my friend. So she took a cookie and they had another bar. And my friend was receiving this blessing. So they got to their car and they just wept and wept and wept. And I said to my friend, I go, dude, how much did that cost? He goes, I don't know. I'm like, seriously, man, how much did it cost? He goes, I have no idea. I'm like, come on, how much did it cost? He goes, I swear, I have no idea. I never even looked. I have no idea. I go, was it more than $1,000? He goes, no way. For whatever that costs. I guarantee you, he changed his daughter's life. His life was changed. Connected to God and the way that God is generous. And I'm going to tell you, you get into the flow, you get this identity thing right. You get this worship thing right. You put money in its place. You get out from under that curse. You're going to not only see who God is, but you're going to see who you are. And it's a good thing. And then you're going to start living that out. And your family's going to be blessed. And your neighbors are going to be blessed. And your coworkers are going to be blessed. And this church is going to be blessed. Just watch what God will do. And so I would like to invite you right now to just pray a very simple prayer with me. Would you open up your hands for a blessing? Just out loud say, God,
against the curse and into your blessings. And we ask for that in Jesus' name.
Thanks for joining us online this week. We'd love to have you join us on the campus if you can, or feel free to check out our website at crossroadsgrace.org or our Crossroads Grace app. These are great ways to connect with a member of our staff, to find out what's going on campus, or to give if you feel led. You can also catch up on any of the other weeks if you've missed any of them. Thanks for tuning in. We hope you have a great week.